Welcome to Beaver Springs, Pennsylvania for HyzerMedia's coverage of Discmania's Mid-Atlantic Collegiate Regional Championship. Thank you to Cosmic Disc Golf, D-Town Disc Golf, and Reaper Disc Supply for making this coverage possible. I'm Nathan Johnson, joined in the booth today by John Baker from College Disc Golf. How's it going, John?
It's going well, Nathan. Glad to be back for this back nine coverage.
Yeah, should be great to watch. We are going to jump right into hole 10 here at Faylor Lake. Par 3, 420 feet. Super tight tunnel shot. Anything you can throw to get yourself down this tunnel is going to work. Jumping right into it. First to tee, we have Tanner Young. Apologies on the front nine. We did have Tanner and Truman Hoy backwards from Cincinnati, so apologies to them, but we've got it all sorted out now. Great front nine for Cincinnati. It's a bit of a slow start for NC State, but they've still got plenty of work to do, plenty of holes to turn it around, I should say. A couple errant shots there for Cincinnati. We'll have to scramble coming up here. What do you think NC State's got to do to turn things around here, John?
Well, they need to start attacking, but I have to say, if there's a hole that they're favored on, it might be this one. This reminds me a lot of the golf I've played in North Carolina, tight fairways, and they should feel right at home on this shot.
Oh, yeah, this definitely feels like some North Carolina golf, some North Carolina woods golf. A bit of an errant shot there for NC State, so both teams going to be looking to scramble. Kind of a backdoor option here for Cincinnati. Ilkin Groh up first. Going to opt for the turnover forehand. Leaks it a bit long, but should have about a circle's edge putt. Maybe just outside. Truman Hoy looking to improve on that one. Going to opt for the forehand roller. Probably about the same distance on the short side of the bucket. We'll see which one they opt to go with. We talked a bit about it on the front nine, John, but how do you think this format of collegiate doubles kind of changes the mentality out here on the course?
There's a few significant ways it does it. One thing for me that I noticed was the pressure. Like when you're out there performing as an individual, you know, in the MPO division or whatever it is, and you're making this putt for yourself, there's a lot of pressure there. You need to make cash or whatever goal you have in the moment. But when you're stepping up and representing your school or your team and you have three other players that are standing behind you, rooting for you to make that putt, it just takes it to a whole nother level. And we love seeing that in our collegiate athletes. And that's just what makes it special, is the team aspect that suddenly comes into play.
Great putt there for Tanner Young, able to deliver for his team. Like you said, on that circle two look, saving the par, keeping Cincinnati at a 4-stroke lead over NC State. But like we mentioned on the front, plenty of other teams out here, so Cincinnati going to need to keep the pedal to the metal if they want to finish strong and take this tournament down. Jumping into hole 11, par 4, 617 feet. Players are either going to go throw a big backhand turnover off the tee or a power hyzer forehand, depending on what you want. And then there is a tight gap you got to hit to get yourself a look at the birdie. Also plays significantly uphill. That's a really great start there. Nice shot from Truman Hoy.
Yeah, like really lets Ilkin attack this. A lot of times you'll see in this format too is the first player will play it safe and make sure they land in bounds or whatever it is to have a secure play, and then the next player can really go for it and attack like we saw Ilkin do here. It just hyzers out at the end, unfortunately, for Cincinnati.
Yep, going to find the OB on the left side of the fairway there. This, you can see the line here. That whole cornfield is out of bounds. NC State up now. This is a nice looking shot. Finds the ground safe. That was Gus Jones there on the shot. Now Zach Guess going to look to improve on that one. This looks a bit wide. Doesn't quite have the turn. Also going to be out of bounds, but not a problem. Just going to take the first shot. We mentioned it as well in the front nine. They are playing to the long baskets here, the white baskets. at Faylor Lake. So if you do see blue baskets, those are the short pins not in play for this event. Really nice shot there. Tanner Young with a smooth forehand gets his actually all the way up to the green. It's going to be a short birdie putt coming up. Bit wide there from Bradley, but not a problem. This is a nice looking line. Oh yeah, absolutely pured from, I believe that was Logan Edelman.
Yeah, Liam lets that go a little bit low. These two teams here, you know, they're vying for the win, but also on the line are 3 Division I bids for this event and 6 Division II bids to our national championship.
Yeah, so a lot at stake, not just for the win, but all the way down the leaderboard. A rare kind of 2 poor missed putts in a row there from Cincinnati. They've been really solid on the green so far, but just maybe that little bit of extra pressure that you talked about that comes with the doubles format. Not able to connect, so NC State going to get a stroke on them for what might be the first time this round, at least the first time in a while. Jumping back in here to hole 12, a par 3, 350 feet. It is a straight shot with a bit of left finish at the end through this super tight tunnel, and then a very steep drop off behind the basket. Anything up near that green that you're able to give yourself a putt is a great look on this hole. That shot there from Logan Edelman just a bit pulled. Finds a tree on the right side of the fairway. Shot looked good out of the hand from Liam, but I think just caught something a bit late in the flight. This hole, although you can see the first half of the fairway is, you know, there is a clear gap. It gets a little squirrely on the second half, so you need a little bit of luck if you're going to make it all the way through. Something like that from Tanner is going to do the job. It's going to give them a long look. Got Bradley Caldwell now from Cincinnati. This one looking great, but also catches a late tree. Going to have a couple of outside runs coming up. That was Gus Jones up first, just opting for the layup. See if it looks like Zach hits the same tree there, so still going to have a little work left. Oh, as Ilkin just hits heavy chains on the right-hand side. You can see behind the basket just an absolute drop-off. Beautiful view, but pretty scary to putt at. So that, oh, nice little root there, but definitely want to avoid airballing it.
Nice putt from Logan.
Indeed. See a drop-in par there from Cincinnati, a couple of pars from this group as we take a quick look. The beautifully scenic Faylor Lake. We'll get to see that view again in 2 holes, but first, this par 3, hole 13, 320 feet, probably about 10 feet or so downhill. You have 2 gaps you can choose from. The left gap is probably a little bit bigger if you want to opt for the forehand. There's also a right gap. if you prefer the backhand line, but both very viable options. Nice shot there. Pretty much anything that gets out of this first section of trees is a pretty good shot because both gaps are pretty tight. This actually is smoked from Zach. Going to end up going OB deep. Not something you see come into play too often on this one.
3 for 3 on the left gap on this one. Truman hits a little late, but he also knocks down safely in the fairway.
Yep, we'll see. Here's Ilkin going to opt for that forehand as well. A lot of speed on that one. Finds the right side rough. So I think we're going to have 2 more long putts at it coming up.
We already saw a big putt from Tanner earlier in the round. Let's see if he can repeat that.
Looks like a lot of wind, lift, and drop there. Mentioned it on the front. This course tends to get pretty windy. We like that aggressive bid there. So definitely something to keep in mind, that putting can be somewhat tricky, but that putt was not tricky, at least did not look tricky for Logan. Able to cash it in with the spin putt to grab another birdie for NC State. They're looking to make this thing a ball game.
Yeah, that's a big putt from NC State, putting the pressure on Cincinnati. That's really had, a pressureless round so far. They started off hot. Let's see if they can get back on the birdie train.
Yeah, this is a good one to do at hole 14, par 3, 300 feet. Most players looking to throw some sort of flex forehand up there as this fairway slopes from right to left the whole way. This is looking like a great line. A little maybe overturned. There is a bit of a drop off on that left-hand side of the fairway. So we'll see if that one did find its way down to the bottom, or actually we might not need to find out because that was a nice looking shot.
And if Liam can get that to curl back towards the basket, oh, the Wolfpack are going to like that one.
Yeah, great result there. Just inside the circle, birdie putt coming up. See if Cincinnati can get things going back in the right direction. Bradley Caldwell up first. Super smooth forehand. Comes up a bit short, but that'll be a birdie putt. Tanner with a super smooth forehand as well. Ooh, gets a little bit of extra ground play, but that one dries up inside the circle. Option coming up for Cincinnati. Looks like they are going to opt to take Tanner's drive. Just a bit low there for Truman to see if Ilkin can capitalize. Another missed inside the circle putt for Cincinnati. Starting to let some strokes slip away.
Yeah, I agree there, Nathan. And I'm surprised to see Ilkin have such tough luck on 2 putts back to back. I wasn't too mad at that one either, and he definitely got robbed on the last one.
Yeah, High Chains just wasn't able to stick it as we take a look at another one of these beautiful holes here at Faylor Lake, hole 15, the par 4 970 footer, another 100 feet of downhill. Whereas on hole 6, most players are looking to throw a backhand turnover max distance shot. This one shapes more for a big hyzer off the tee as the fairway. You want to find the left side of the fairway to open up for the second. So this one looks like it turned over. That's going to be kind of on the hillside. Not really where you'd want to be. Ideally, you want to be to the right of where this camera is to be able to see the basket for your second.
Let's see if Gus can have better luck with the elevation change here. Another beautiful hole on this Faylor Lake course.
Yeah, especially being out here in the fall, the trees changing color. Super cool to see. I don't think that turned as much as Gus wanted, so that finds the left hand rough. It's going to be a tough decision for NC State. I don't really think they're going to have a great option either way, but par at this point is looking like it'll be their best case scenario. Truman there going for the forehand. Didn't quite turn it as much as I think he would have liked, but does find the fairway. See if Ilkin can show us how this hole is meant to be thrown. He doesn't like it. I think that was just a bit low out of the hand. Just kind of didn't really get the flight he was looking for. That's a great shot from Bradley Caldwell. Able to still give this Cincinnati chance a putt at the birdie. These approaches are still going to be in the 400+ foot range, slightly downhill for these two teams. Not really biting off as much distance as I'm sure they would have liked to. And yeah, you can see here that the issue with landing on the right side of this mound is that NC State throwing a completely blind shot, trying to go up and over this hill to get to the green. Just a really demanding shot, and yeah, just not where you'd like to be off the drive. This does look nice, though. Oh, wow. Incredible.
What a great shot from Liam. They've really turned it on these last couple holes to keep that pressure on Cincinnati.
Yeah, now a birdie putt. Oh, man. Another one with some heavy chains for Cincinnati that just falls out. And off the band for Ilkin. So another chance. Cincinnati, or NC State, I should say, now with a chance to tie things up. Just a bit left there. Was Gus, and now Zach. And he's able to deliver to knock down that circle's edge birdie putt after the great scramble from NC State, tying this thing up at 11 under with only 3 holes to play. As we head into hole 16, par 5, 885 feet. Literally dead straight down a tunnel the entire way. This is just like a great example of a hole where you can bite off as much as you want. It'll be really interesting to watch them play this in the collegiate doubles format because, you know, so we might see some players get really aggressive. We might see some layups. It'll be very interesting to see how these teams decide to attack.
That looked pretty pure to me. I don't know if you want to err on the left side here or if the right side's okay. That might be blocked off on their second shot, though.
Yeah, I would say the miss is the right side, but ideally you want to be on the left, especially off the tee shot. The left side of the fairway is where that tunnel kind of continues for most of the way. So you want to be on the left, but if you go too far left, that left side rough is pretty punishing. So I think the miss is the right side, but a perfect shot is going to land you on the left. Bit of overturned forehand we just saw from Bradley. Tanner looking to correct. This one comes out a little low, a little safe, but finds the fairway, so they can still birdie from back there. It's just going to take 2 really great shots. Looks like Ilkin going to opt to go up and over these trees. Definitely in play if you've got the distance for it. Looks like it worked out pretty well. Nice looking forehand there out of Truman. Cincinnati back in business now. Oh, tough first available hit there for Gus Jones. This is kind of the issue you get with landing on the right-hand side off the tee, is it just kind of pinches off that angle for the second shot. Now NC State is left with quite a bit of distance into the green. I don't know if this is necessarily doable. See how aggressive they decide to get here.
And unfortunately, back on the right side for the Wolfpack.
Yeah,
might see a patent pending or some other step out stance from that lie.
Yeah, it's going to be tricky. Yeah, you can kind of see how this hole can cause some trouble if you're not careful. I mean, being like 3 or 4 feet out of position can really force your hand, and especially in singles, force you to lay up. Whereas in this doubles format, these teams are wanting to stay aggressive, which you can't blame them for with twice as many opportunities. But that mentality can sometimes get you into trouble by trying to play too aggressive.
Yeah, it looks like Bradley and Tanner both went a little too straight there, going from the right side to the left side of the fairway. Let's see if they have a putt or an easy approach at least to get up and down.
Yeah, tricky approach here for NC State. This one looked a little early, but got through most of the way for Zach. It's going to be an outside look. Gus here looking to improve on it, and this looks great.
Great shot, great angle from the camera person, I have to say, on the catch cam.
All right, so we do have an outside look at the birdie for Cincinnati. Oh, and Ilkin, he's been all over the basket on this back nine, but just not quite able to get him to fall. Truman just leaves that one low. Another opportunity there for Cincinnati, just not able to connect. NC State still got a little bit on the bone here, though. Call this one a 30-footer to save the par. And 0 for 2 on the par putts. We're going to see a rare bogey here from NC State. I think the first bogey of the day from either card. Maybe we saw one from Cincinnati on the front nine, but definitely a rare sight in this format. These teams have just played so well so far up to this point, but unfortunately going to leak a stroke there as we head into hole 17. Only 2 holes remaining. First up, par 4, 550. You're looking to put something up near this corner so you can go through that tunnel on the dogleg left and up the hill towards the basket. I think the corner is probably in the 380-foot range, so definitely need to bite off quite a bit of distance to put yourself in position to get the birdie.
Another crucial placement shot at Faylor Lake. That seems to be a theme for this course.
Yeah, definitely a common theme out here. Knowing your distance control, knowing the placement is key if you want to shoot well. Looks like Ilkin going to get aggressive here, just trying to bite off as much as he can with that spike hyzer. Nice shot. We're going to have a couple options there for Cincinnati coming up. NC State now looking to bounce back from that bogey. A little bit too wide on the hyzer there from Gus. And just coming up a bit short from Zach. This is going to be another tough scramble coming up for NC State. You can see here just this rough, pretty thick on the right-hand side. We'll see where that shot ended up. But I don't even know what these guys are looking at over here. It's just a wall of trees. That shot actually just absolutely pured the gap though. From I think that was Logan, just puts himself right back in the middle of the fairway there. Might actually have a throw-in chance going up the hill there coming up. And you can just see that is an example of where the perfect tee shot that we saw from Cincinnati, just right in the middle of the fairway, dead straight shot up to that basket. Almost a green light too with the backstop behind it. And nicely executed there from Tanner. Going to give his team a birdie putt coming up. You can just see that tree branch whipping though. You know it's windy out there. Oh, off the top of the basket from Zach. You've got to think NC State knows they got to give this a run if they still want to keep this thing close. Not going to happen there from Gus. So now with these putts, Cincinnati got a chance to take a 2-stroke lead, at least on NC State, heading into hole 18. Ilkin, seen some putting woes from this team on the back 9, but chance here for a big one.
That's unfortunate from Cincinnati. You know they'd love to shut the door. With only one hole left to play, going up 2 strokes would have been crucial. Let's see if they can hit the comebacker.
Yeah, definitely not a short comeback putt at all. But Tanner Young clutches up, able to connect on that 30-footer for the par.
Yeah, that shows why Tanner was our individual champion last year, started this year ranked #1, and is still in our top 10 at number 9. So Tanner's definitely got some ice in those veins.
Clutch putt there to keep a 1-stroke lead heading into hole 18. Par 5, 1,136 feet, playing to the traditional island, or I should say peninsula, technically pin. This one is also eagleable, even though it's 1,000 feet. You can cut the corner on the first one. You can cut the corner on the second one if you want to get aggressive. You've got to think NC State has to have that in the back of their mind, trying to make up a stroke here.
Yep, good shot, Bradley. That's fine.
Nice start there for Bradley, putting something in play for Cincinnati. Gives Tanner the green light to get aggressive.
Come on, baby. Come on, Tanner. Go. Come on. Get in.
And this is a super aggressive line. Does it have the distance? It does. Huge drive there for Tanner Young, putting Cincinnati in the driver's seat. Oh my gosh, and you can just see the wind whipping off the lake here.
Yeah, and on Logan's
selection, very important.
Yeah, it is. And you can tell that Tanner's shot was throwing into a significant headwind. That makes it even that much more impressive. Logan saws that one off a little high, lets the wind get under the disc. That's going to end up bad, but safe.
Yeah, it is safe. Safe over there on the left-hand side. Still birdie-able, but not ideal position. This is kind of looking similar. High and left. Also going to be inbounds, but definitely not going to be able to go. Or is this a drop zone? Maybe they were both out of bounds.
Oh.
All right, interesting to know. I maybe they were playing with an OB left on this hole. I'm not sure. We'll have to let us know in the comments if you were there what the OB situation was on this one, because it looks like we've got a drop zone here for NC State, and this is a really tough angle too, because you've got to get the disc moving back to the left, playing into a really stiff headwind. This looks like a great line though from Gus, able to put that inbounds, still give them a chance to save the par. See how aggressive Cincinnati gets here. If they do, they could go for the eagle, but
Oh my gosh, Truman, you're so good. Backhand specialist. Don't.
that might have been the first backhand we've seen all day from Truman, but it was a good one. Perfect layup, finds them inbounds, so I think we're going to see Ilkin get aggressive here. Going for the green, probably 400. Oh no, not going for the green. Just also a layup. A good shot though.
Green flag. Yeah. Yeah. Come on. Go.
Got to think at this point, coming down the stretch, these teams are taking a peek at the scores. NC State likely seeing their closest competitor right now, Toledo, at the 7-under mark. So if they're able to just grab a bogey here, they should be able to hold on to second place. Just looking to stay inbounds and close this thing out.
Wait, when does sound go?
Smooth approach there from Zach. Now Gus with the green light to give this one a run for the highlight reel. Decides to just park it.
Great shot from Bradley, landing safe on the peninsula.
Yep. Now just one last approach here coming up. Tanner Young a bit low. Looking for the water skip, doesn't quite get it, but that's okay as his partner was inbounds. Cincinnati with this birdie putt to close it out. A bit off from Ilkin, but he's still got his partner to pick him up. Truman
Come on,
Hoy.
Truman.
There it is, knocks it down for the birdie. University of Cincinnati at 12 under par. That is going to be good enough to take this one down. Nice performance as well from NC State. Unfortunately finishing with the bogey on hole 18, but a great performance from them as well. Able to pick up one of those national championship bids.
We have Cincinnati University!
There's Rich, the TD. Huge shout out to the Rich and the effort that he puts into not only running this event, but the conference in his area as well. Rich does a whole heck of a lot for the collegiate scene. Congratulations to the Disc Cats from the University of Cincinnati. They actually shredded it. It was an impressive round to watch today from these guys.
Taking another look at the shot of the round, that bomb of a drive from Tanner Young on the 18th. That's got to be a 600-plus footer down the hill. Congrats again to the University of Cincinnati for taking this thing down at 12 under par as we take a look at the rest of the teams on the leaderboard.
Yep, you see our top three there punching their tickets to D1 in the national championship.
Congrats to those teams. Thank you to the Norse gods as well as our Patreon family for supporting this coverage. Thanks to John for joining me on the commentary. We've got one more special video coming up, a 9-hole exhibition match with some of these collegiate athletes facing off against Chandler Kramer and Robert Burridge here at Faylor Lake. So make sure to come back to check that one out. We'll see you over there.